So I've decided, since I still can't sleep, to talk more about this learning about being adopted as a child, and the feeling of abandonment, and having one brother that was also adopted before me, and then having two, well, a brother and a sister that were natural children that my mother actually gave birth to. Um, I remember Josh being born, and I remember Amy being born, and almost feeling devastated, almost like, what's going to happen to me now? That they're their children, that are they going to be loved more? Um, it's almost a hard thing to explain. For me, as horrible as it sounds, um, for me, in my head, I guess, at the time, the ultimate goal was to punish them, was to punish my siblings, to make their lives miserable, because I was unhappy that they were there, and I wanted to make them as unhappy as I was, and it happened in a way of abuse. I'm not proud of it. I'm regretful for it. I'm apologetic for it. It ruined my relationship with them. It affected their lives still to this day. And, but it was, people say you have choices. I could have made the choice not to do the things that I did, but at the time, I felt out of control. I felt so much anger over them coming into the family that I wanted to do everything that I could to hurt them, to, make them feel what I felt. I felt that they were favored. I felt that, I guess I could say their names because they are mentioned in the book, that Amy was more like Mom, and Mom was more proud of Amy. Amy was more like Mom. Josh was more like Dad. The person I did identify with was my older brother, who at times I felt had my back, that he related to me but kind of stayed in the background because didn't want to get involved, but felt the same way I did, but kind of just went with the flow. Josh and Amy did absolutely nothing wrong. They were in no way at any fault in the situation. It was my anger towards my mother. It was my anger towards my siblings. I was out to punish, and there was nothing anybody could have done. They tried to help me. Everybody tried to do. There was tons of treatment facilities I was sent to. But at the time, there was honestly nothing nobody could have done. I was way too angry inside. My father was more of he wasn't around much. He worked pretty hard. I'm not saying he wasn't a good father. He did a lot. I got to do a lot of things a lot of kids didn't get to do. I traveled around the United States, got to see a lot of things during the summers. But he was more emotionally detached from the situation. He didn't like to see emotion from me. He didn't want to hear it. He made me feel like my feelings were wrong, and I just felt like my feelings about being adopted were just wrong, and I just lived in anger and in my own world of anger, and I was out to punish everybody that I could. I went on to thinking that I could create my own family, since I felt like I had no blood, nothing of my own. So unfortunately, I went about it the wrong way of having children at an early age and not being ready. I was extremely bipolar. I was extremely angry. I was not ready to have children, but I wanted something that was mine, that I could call my family, that it was something that I could identify with. And unfortunately, I was not prepared for that. I was still abusive. I was abusing alcohol. I was, definitely not prepared to be a mother. But I thought by keep having children that it was a part of me. It was something that, like I'm saying again, it was selfish. It was something that I did out of selfishness. I basically just repeated a cycle that my birth mother did. I had children and that I couldn't take care of, and ultimately I damaged them because I was not ready to take care of them. There was abuse. There was abuse of alcohol, abuse to the children, not very good parenting. It was just a constant battle in my head of wrong decision making. I knew in my head what was the right thing to do, but I never couldn't make that right decision. It was self-destruct. I never felt worthy enough to do the right things. It's very hard to explain. I pay the price for that now because my children are separated. They weren't taken from me, but they are separated, and they all have one of my daughters is extremely bipolar and just had a baby at a very young age. My son is abusing alcohol and is violent and very bipolar. It's, not a very good situation. Again, I repeated a cycle. For me, I'm trying to rebuild myself, letting go of anger, forgiving myself, because I cannot keep beating myself up for the things that I've done, because I will never be able to move on. I have forgiven myself for what I've done to my brothers, my sisters, my mother, my father, my children. I am changing my lifestyle, changing the way I think, changing my belief systems. I am actually on medication now, which I was totally against my whole life. I don't want to be that angry, poor adopted kid anymore. I don't want to live in this head of anger and resentment and just the twisted mind that I lived in for 35 years was horrible. Drug abuse and alcohol abuse and suicide attempts and many times and days of contemplating how I would kill myself and praying to God to take me, and I just don't want to live like that anymore. I don't want to be that person. I want to be happy. I want to be content. I don't know what that's going to take. I'm working on that. I feel like blogging, talking about adoption, talking about my life from the beginning until where I am today is going to help. I hope that I can help other people, because that's what makes me feel good. To be able to help just one person that is went through what I'm going through or is going through what I'm going through would be a wonderful thing, because nobody should have to live the life that I lived and have to go through the pain that I went through. It's unimaginable pain and suffering and daily crying and days and days of thinking about how to end my life. It just was a miserable life for me. So I hope that I get more people on here to listen to my blog, and that the right person that maybe is going through what I was going through and still working through it will listen to this and maybe reach out to me or hear me and be able to help them. I'm not 100% cured. I'm still working on myself every day, and probably will be working on myself every day until I die, but I am a lot better than I was even 5 years ago. So, anyways, I will be back tomorrow with more, and I hope I can get more people to hear me and to get on my blog and listen to my story. And I hope everybody has a good night. God bless everybody.